this is Steven again. Today I'll try and do something completely different, as they would say in the Monty Python's Flying Circus. I'm going to try and present to you some of the toys that I like to blend in with the Masters of the Universe. And mind you, these particular toys that I will show do not really belong they're not from the He-Man toy line, but I think they just blend in rather well. These will be just some ideas for all of you out there who like to blend in, let's say, creatures or figures from other lines, which might fit in right with the Masters of the Universe. So I'll show you the first one I have here that I came across long ago, and I thought that he rather fits pretty well. It's this enormous dragon here. Now this dragon is from a line called True Legends, which is practically a knockoff line of Lord of the Rings. And this line was specifically available in Toys R Us stores up until maybe 2-3 years ago. And it was exclusive to Toys R Us stores in North America. So this dragon is actually was the largest piece in that line that one could get. He has some action features. He's actually molded rather well. I'll just show you at least his head, how it looks like. The head and the jaw is wide open, has the sharp teeth, and it doesn't have any articulation on the jaw, so the jaw cannot be closed, but it's still fine. And as an example, I put the Masters of the Universe Classics Beastman on top of him, and there is a saddle on top, so he fits rather well on it, as you can tell. It just needs to be adjusted a bit to fit properly. The head of the dragon can move at the neck down here, left and right, but of course it can also move. It can also move a bit further up, just a little bit at least, toward right and left again. Now his action feature is that he has right below the tail here, he has a lever that when you press it, he will flap his wings. So that's pretty neat. And he can fit one rider on top here. As you can tell, the Beastman is on it. And he came with a small plastic yellow rocket that fits in the mouth that can be fired out of his mouth. So there is that, and there isn't no really other accessories other than that little rocket, which I don't really display on this thing anyway. Aside from that, the wings can be removed, but usually once you clip them in, it's better to just leave them in there. He does have 4 legs, as you can tell. Now the front legs can move forward, and he has huge talons at the end of it to grab figures with and such. And of course he has 2 back legs as well that also can be moved back and forth, and then a very long tail which can also move at the end here. So you can go pretty much left to right, but not the 360 degrees. So yes, he would be one of the ideal ones for the display, at least for either good guys or bad guys. Now, the other thing I want to show you is that it also fits well the vintage Masters of the Universe, who also fit pretty well on it. And here we go. As an example, vintage Beastman sitting on the same dragon. So he can also fit pretty well. So this dragon can have a multiple purpose in the sense that he can fit either of the 2 lines. So this dragon is not available in Toys R Us anymore, but if you ever see it on, your best bet these days would probably be eBay or secondary markets of any sort. Next one that I want to mention that I thought he rather fits well is the Battle Armor Troll from Lord of the Rings. And all of you who are fans of this, you will obviously recognize this figure. He comes with a helmet and then these chains that he carries and so forth, and he's a massive figure. He even has levers at the back that he can extend and use his arm to punch, and he's electronic on top of it. He can roar, which is neat. Now, why do I say there is all sorts of large creatures always shown in the He-Man cartoons, so I really believe he would fit pretty well, and I do put him on my displays. So this is the ratio between the figures. So this is Ular. So he is quite smaller compared to the Cave Troll, but I mean, sorry, not the Cave Troll, the Battle Armor Troll. But as you can tell, he would fit rather well as a sort of a nemesis monster creature to fight him in. Now, I have another type of troll which is not from Lord of the Rings, but this particular one is from True Legends, just like the dragon earlier. And this is their version of a cave troll, which is sort of practically an imitation of, somewhat an imitation of the Lord of the Rings cave troll. This one is actually called Battle Troll. He comes with some weapons. He comes with a mace and a battle axe. He has 4 arms, and the arms can only move at the shoulder. At least, sorry, the what do you call it? The left arm has a ball joint, so he can go up and down, and he can go 360 degrees. But the arms separately cannot move because they're molded together. But he can move at the wrist, and of course, you can place the weapons in any of the 4 hands that he has, and each of these hands has articulation at the wrist, so they can move 360 degrees. Now the legs, however, cannot move. There is articulation in the waistline, and the head, I first thought, yeah, the head can move, at least to the right, so you can take a look that way to the right, and to the left actually, so yeah, you can move the head at the neck. And I'll show you the ratio in size between him and He-Man and Ular here. As you can tell, they're a little bit taller than the 6-inch figures, just a little bit, but they're much wider and bulkier looking in appearance. So I have about, this is 1, but I have 2 more like this, so I have 3, so it's a small army that I got. And they're very good as the henchmen for Skeletor, or army builders for Skeletor, or any of the other bad guys. So yes, they actually fit quite well as the creatures, or army builders specifically. So yes, he's also a toy, as I said, part of the True Legends line, and that was exclusive to Toys R Us, not available in Toys R Us anymore. But of course, maybe you can find it in secondary market yet again. So yes, they're pretty useful. I've seen some people who use the orange dragon that I have in their displays as well, but I think I'm one of the first ones to use these guys. Now the final piece I have here to show you is this snake. Now this snake comes from Harry Potter playset from the first movie of Harry Potter, and she came in a playset that's called Basilisk Attack. So you get this enormous snake, which is electronic by the way, and you get this cardboard made walls covered in snakes or some such that represents a scene from the movie where Harry Potter fights the snake with a sword. So anyway, why is this snake pretty interesting to me? I got it countless years ago when it was on clearance. It fits very well with King Hiss and his army, so it can be served as a display piece for the vintage Snake Men or the 2000X Snake Men, and specifically also for the Snake Men from the Classics line. Now I will show you what features it has. It has a lot of articulation, specifically on the tail here, so the tail can be moved, and the neck moves. The neck movement is connected to the tail, so when you move the tail, the neck will move, and the head as well, and the jaw too, so the jaw is articulated. Since it works on battery, I'll just show you what it can do. So here we go. I hope you can see. It has glowing green eyes and a hissing sound. Now, watch what happens when I pull the tail, which acts as a lever. It can roar, let out a very nasty roar and open mouth really wide, and the eyes turn red. So here we go again, one more time. It's pretty scary looking and very neatly done. So here we go in a comparison to a classics figure. Olar again is here to help me out with the demonstration. So here he is facing an enormous snake of King Hiss, and let's see what happens when it attacks him. So that's a pretty neat example of it. And here we go again, side by side. You can tell that the snake is pretty tall compared to the figure, so I would say it fits ideally for anybody who wants to build additional creatures for King Hiss. Since he doesn't really have any to begin with other than his soldiers and warriors. So I think this snake fits pretty well with your Snakeman display. And he can also be a representation of Serpos, which was the snake god of the Snakemen in the 2000X cartoon series that came alive from the Snake Mountain. Now, if you can get more than one of these, again, it's good to have it as an army builder. I was only able to get one, and these days it's rather more difficult to find any extras, because this is a very old toy from about at least I don't know, when the first Harry Potter movie came about, early 2000s, thereabouts. So the only way to find this kind of snake these days is to probably look on secondary market and eBay, and I honestly can't tell you what's the price these days. I bought this, as I said, on clearance counters years ago. But anyway, I highly recommend it for your display needs. So anyway, that's all for now. I may have another video coming, hopefully soon, where I will show you some other figures that I like to blend in with the Masters. But this is it for now. The Orange Dragon, couple of trolls, and the giant snake. So thanks for watching, guys, and I am very grateful to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I do appreciate it, you guys, and to anyone who's taking interest in watching my videos, I also say thank you very much for that. I appreciate your support in whatever way you express it. So thanks, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.